Hello, everybody. I'm excited for you to do your language arts this week. We are going to be doing country research projects. So we are going to be doing this in social studies, but since we didn't get to do that, I thought it would be fun to still get to. And so I've worked really hard to try to make this happen for you. So I hope that it works out. Let me or your teacher know if you have any questions. We'd be happy to help you. So I'm just going to start by talking you through what our expectations are for this week. So Monday and Tuesday, you'll start by watching this video. So you're already on step one. Good job. Then you'll pick a country. Make sure it's a country, not a state, not a continent. Okay, make sure it's a country. And you'll pick that and you'll put on slide number 3. You'll just type in your name and your country that you picked. I'm going to do my example as El Salvador. And you're going to be just doing some research on it and inserting it into the slide. That's important for you to be able to know where to go to get some good research. And this is a skill that you'll use throughout your lives, honestly. Okay, so that's part of why we wanted to have you do this week. Throughout your researching or your project, if you're wondering like what type of answers or what you should be typing in, you can always come back to slide 3 and click here on my sample one, and you'll be able to view what mine looks like. I have one that I already completed. Ooh, I have some fun things going. Okay, I have one that I already completed. I put examples so you don't accidentally start trying to type on there. So anyway, just in case you want to look at, oh, that's what I should be trying to do. Okay, so you're always welcome to go back to that. Then after you picked your country, you've written your name, your job for Monday and Tuesday is to complete slides 5 through 7. So you have all week to get this project done from beginning to end. And obviously, if you want to do it all in one day, that's up to you. But you're welcome to spread it out throughout the week. I've kind of broken it up into the 2 different sections here for you on slide number 1. Okay, so your sources page is really important. It's important that you state where you got your information from. So I made this document that's going to be super, super helpful for you. Please use this document on slide number 4. You're going to click here for some really good websites. These websites, I'll wait for it. These websites will take you to some good information. Now, some of these websites don't have all the countries listed, so if yours isn't, then you might have to try a different one. But I really, when I was doing my research, loved this Culturegrams one. You have to log in, but the login is online and the password is school. It's Utah's online library, but it's free. You have to click on Culturegrams, and I think it has all the countries listed. And they have a ton of good information. Make sure that you use the side menus, and I'll kind of show you some more about that later. But that's my favorite one, but these other ones are really good as well. I also want you to know that a lot of times when I was doing my research, it was easier to just Google it, like what it does, or like what animals live in El Salvador is sometimes easier to figure out than trying to look all over a website for it. And I'll show you a couple of other tricks later. Okay, so make sure you're using that document as far as your research goes. There's some really good things there. Then for Monday and Tuesday, you're still going to want to fill out slides 5 through 7. So slide 5 is probably where you're going to have to do the most research. Like there's the most things you have to research, but they're pretty easy. Like you could honestly just Google most of these, like what is the capital of El Salvador? What is the continent that El Salvador is on? Okay, you would just Google most of those. Hemisphere, there's going to be 2. So like, are they in the northern or southern, and are they in the eastern or western? Now, where it says neighboring countries, there might be like 7 and you won't be able to fit all of them. You don't have to type all of them in. Just put a couple of them. If you can't fit all of them, that's okay. Remember that population means how many people live there. All right. Type of government is like, is it a communist country? Is it a democratic republic? Like what kind of government? You can just type in what type of government does your country have? Does El Salvador have, for example? Who is the leader? Currency is what type of money do they use? And what are they known for producing? Like that's also an export. So if they say, oh, they export a lot of sugar, then that's what they're known for producing. Okay. Your map, you don't need to worry about the key. You'll just find a map. So to insert a picture or an image, there's a few ways you can do it. You can copy and paste it from Google. So that's one option. Or you can go to insert image, search the web. And then up here, there will be this search for images and the map of El Salvador. So then you can just pick one that you like and it will show up there and you can adjust it however you want. Okay, that's all you have to do for that slide. So not too bad. And then with the flag, you'll do the same thing. You'll just find it, insert it in, and then it says colors on the flag. So you'll just type what colors they are, and then what do the colors mean? Each country kind of has their own little meaning. So right here, I found this website that talks about that. So I would, if you use it, make sure you cite it. So just cite it. That just means you'll copy it. Control C is my favorite way to copy. And then Control V so that I have it listed as a source that I used. And I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller because it was giant. Okay. And so you go to that website and it will list all of the countries and it will tell you about their flags. So I found that for you. And that's all you'll have to do for Monday, Tuesday. Okay. So it's really not too bad. And then for Wednesday, Thursday, you need to do slides 8 through 10. So slide 8, you're going to insert pictures of the country's landscape. So that's like, if it's lots of beaches, put some pictures of their beaches. So if you're doing El Salvador, you might do El Salvador Beach, but El Salvador mostly has mountains. So when I did my sample one, there's like pictures of mountains on there. And then it says, what are the physical features of the country? Well, when I was looking at my research, it said it was mostly mountainous. So I said something like, most of El Salvador is mountainous, but there's also a plateau and it's mostly made of volcanoes, stuff like that. This part that is in red is optional. Make sure you're reading these things on the side because they tell you important information like if it's optional or not. Okay, so you'll just type that in there. If you ever need to type to make a text box, it's this T up here. So you could always add a text box in if you want to type something. That's always an option. All right. Celebrations and traditions are just like, what games do they like to play? And on Culturegrams, there's tons of information about this. This is why I liked that one website. So go to that. That's my favorite one. And you'll just type in the 4 different things they like to do: holidays, games, sports, what is popular in your country that you chose, traditional dress, and traditional food. And once again, if you can't find it on the websites, if you can't see it anywhere, just Google it. But make sure that if you Google it, so let me show you. If I want to Google traditional food in El Salvador. Okay, pupusa. Now, I don't super love Wikipedia because anybody can get on there and add anything. Usually, honestly, it's usually accurate. I'm going to be real with you, but the sources are sometimes not great. So I might go to one that looks a little bit more reputable. So this one, tasteatlas.com, sounds like it might be a good one. So top 10 most popular Salvadoran foods. And then they'll list all of them. So if I were to use this website, I would copy this URL at the top, Control C, go back to my sources page, and paste the website in. And then that way I am saying, oh, this is where I got the traditional food, most popular food are pupusas, which, by the way, you guys, if you have not had pupusas, they're the best. I've converted Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Allen to them. So. All right, you're going to need more than just that. You can see my sample for more information. And then landmarks and attractions. This is the last required one. You only have to do 2. Just some interesting things. Like if you were a tourist, what would you like to visit? Or where would you like to visit? It might be like a hike or waterfalls, or it might be like an amusement park, wherever it might be, whatever is where the tourists like to go. If you were doing France, you might do something like the Eiffel Tower, okay, stuff like that. So I am excited to see what you guys come up with. I think I'll be looking for, at least in my class, Some of you who do the best job, I will probably be putting them up on Google Classroom next week so everybody can check those out. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to show you, and that's Control F. If you are on a website and you want to find a specific word, push Control F. It's going to be helpful if you're looking for like food or animals. And if you push Control F, then find in document will come up, or find on web page. You'll just, let's say you're looking for food, FOOD, and they'll be like, 0 of 1. Well, that means there must not be any on there. Oh, right there, 1 of 1. Okay, they'll find the word that you're looking for, and that can be helpful if there's a ton of information on your web page. All right, let us know if you have any questions, and good luck.